Hello, everyone. Welcome to Leadership 101. I do hope you're having a good day. Thank you for joining me today. Please feel free to subscribe, to share, to like, and leave your comments. I would love to hear from you. The leadership principle we're talking about today is apologetic leaders. You're probably a leader thinking, apologetic? Why would I need to be a leader who apologizes? Well, if you are a leader, you will need to apologize at some point or the other. Why? Because you are human. Some leaders climb up so high that they feel that they can sweep their mistakes under the carpet. You may be able to do that in your position, but one thing you cannot do is erase the minds of those that follow you. If you've made a mistake and it's a mistake that has impacted people within the organization, people are bound to notice, and you may choose to ignore it and sweep it under the carpet, but you cannot erase the minds of your constituents, which means that they have observed the mistake and they've also observed the way that you chose to handle it. And their assessment of you is not going to increase because you have not acknowledged the mistake that you made. So as a human leader and as a humble leader, it's important that you are able to apologize whenever the need arises. If you make a mistake, acknowledge it and apologize for it. In the Watergate Scandal many years ago, President Nixon and his constituents, or the people that he was working with, they were involved in some corruption. And although he tried to deny it, it was later discovered that he was indeed involved in that whole setup. And so he ended up resigning from the presidency. Now, am I saying that if he had apologized, that he wouldn't have needed to resign? No. Sometimes when you apologize, there are consequences for your actions. But when you apologize, you give people the opportunity to forgive you. You give people the opportunity to change their assessment of you. So you may have to pay a consequence, but people will think about you more kindly because you had the courage to apologize for your actions. So only courageous leaders are really able to apologize, because when you apologize, it places you in a humble position. It places you almost at the mercy of those that you're apologizing to. But depending on the mistake that you have made, some mistakes you can just explain what you have learned, enumerating those, and move on. But some mistakes you will have to pay a consequence and maybe step down from the position, like President Nixon. But regardless of what the consequence or what the outcome is, what I would like you to embrace is the ability to apologize, the ability to recognize your mistakes, to own up to them, to acknowledge them, and to apologize to those that you are leading. This sort of behavior will be translated to those that you lead. It will be translated to other senior leaders that are watching you. So if you at the top are able to explain and to acknowledge, this is what I've done wrong, please forgive me, these are the lessons I've learned, that sort of behavior can then filter through to your senior leaders. It can filter through to your constituents. So instead of them trying to hide their mistakes, they can own up to it and say, boss, this is where I went wrong. These are the lessons I've learned. This is what I've done to correct the mistake that I made. It just creates an atmosphere of transparency throughout the organization, but it starts at the top. If you are a leader who sweeps things under the carpet, you are teaching a very vital lesson to your constituents. You're teaching them that when they make mistakes, they must also sweep things under the carpet. However, if you are a leader who owns up to your mistakes and you apologize and show them what you have learned and tell them what you've learned, then they also will follow your example. And when they make mistakes, which they are bound to do, because we are all humans, you as a leader, you are human, and your constituents are human. And so the same mercy that you expect from them when you make mistakes is the same mercy that you must extend to your constituents when they make mistakes. And when you are able to do this, it creates an atmosphere of just transparency where people are willing to own up to their mistakes. And when there is, in that sort of atmosphere, there is growth. Because when you acknowledge where you have failed, it stretches you as an individual. When you're able to examine the areas that you have failed and to correct those areas, it also stretches you. So if you are an apologetic leader, you are definitely a leader who is growing, and you will have constituents that grow with you. Okay, these are my tips for today. Please feel free to share this video with whoever you think needs to hear it. Until next time, from my heart to yours, do take it easy. Bye.